some people I see maybe it's a new faces, so greetings to them.
Ah, veo nuevas caras para saludar.
And today we're going to go back to the subject, to Rav Wolbe's exercise about patience.
Bueno, hoy vamos a volver a los ejercicios de paciencia de Rav Wolbe.
Okay, so perhaps we did about 3 of them.
Ya habíamos hecho 3 de ellos anteriormente.
Perhaps, I said.
Tal vez, dije.
And so all right, there's more to do there's more to do. Somehow we moved on to something else, but now we got to get back to it.
De alguna forma avanzamos a otra cosa, pero regresemos ahora a ello.
All right, and so he says,
dice,
patience with the members of your household has a special place.
La paciencia con aquellos de casa tiene algo especial.
Okay. The closer something is to you, the more patience you have to have with this thing.
Entre más cercanos sean a nosotros, más pacientes debemos de ser.
Okay, a friend you meet sometimes.
Digo, a un amigo lo vemos de vez en cuando.
Okay, and so not every time you meet you have conflicts.
Y seguramente cada vez que nos vemos no tenemos conflicto.
Not every time, maybe sometimes, but not every time.
No siempre. Tal vez de vez en cuando sí hay conflicto, pero no siempre.
Right, and relationship with neighbors is more constant.
La relación con los vecinos es algo más constante.
Sometimes, so therefore, you have to have more. You get into situations, you have to have more patience.
Y dependiendo de la situación, se tendrá que tener más paciencia.
Right. And last night there were people at my door until like 12 after 12 o'clock at night.
Hasta después de las 12 de la
Last
noche.
Night, last night.
Perdón. Anoche.
There were people talking right outside my door until after 12.
Había gente hablando fuera de mi puerta hasta pasada la medianoche.
All right, but if I somehow accept it. Well, listen, I wasn't so tired, so therefore I didn't really go to sleep. So it doesn't. I went to sleep a little, whatever, and I woke up, but somehow it didn't bother me.
De alguna forma eso no me molestó tanto. Me acosté a dormir tarde.
Right, it didn't bother me at all. I didn't say tanto means a lot. I didn't say it didn't bother me a lot. I said it didn't bother me at all. Didn't bother me.
No me molestó en absoluto.
Okay, so with neighbors, it's more likely you'll come into situations where you need patience.
Con los vecinos es más posible, más factible que lleguemos a situaciones en donde necesitemos de la paciencia.
But more, all right. So it's more difficult to be a good neighbor than a good friend.
Es más difícil ser llamado un buen vecino que un buen amigo.
More difficult than everything is to be patient with your household.
Y más difícil es ser paciente con los de casa,
That you're together all the time and in various situations.
que estamos con ellos todo el tiempo en diferentes situaciones.
The quality that upholds the house is patience.
La cualidad que sostiene al hogar es paciencia.
Okay, sometimes you have marriage counseling, not
A ver,
well. They have counseling that they give before the wedding, to newlyweds about the marriage.
hay un tipo de consejería que se ofrece a los novios antes de la boda, antes de casarse.
So the groom, so he basically asked Rav Wolbe, what should he stress? What's the most important thing?
Y se pregunta de parte del novio, ¿qué es lo más importante de señalar?
So this is the advice he gives them.
Y ese es el consejo que Rav Wolbe da.
When they stand underneath the canopy, the wedding canopy.
Cuando están allí debajo de la jupa
The wedding ceremony, whatever the ceremony is, doesn't have to be a Jewish wedding, even if it's a not Jewish wedding. I don't mean that it has to be a Jewish wedding.
Bueno, donde quiera que estén, porque no tiene que ser a fuerzas una boda judía.
The wedding ceremony, whatever it is.
Una ceremonia de boda.
So it seems to be he's talking to both parties. He says both parties should accept upon themselves.
Parece ser que está hablando a ambas partes. Las dos partes tienen que aceptar sobre sí.
Oh, no. I'm sorry. No. It looks the language tricked me. It looks like he's addressing the groom.
No. El lenguaje descriptivo aquí me dio mal. Parece ser que se refiere solo al novio.
He should accept upon himself to bear his wife.
Él debe de aceptar sobre sí el cargar a su esposa
Until 120.
hasta los 120.
Whatever the situation could be.
Cualquiera que sea la situación.
And not to throw the yoke of his wife off of his back.
Y no retirar la carga de su esposa de sobre su espalda.
Right? In Hebrew, marriage is called the word for marriage in Hebrew is to bear, to be a bearer.
En hebreo, la palabra usada para el matrimonio es cargar.
And so literally, that's a person's job, to carry his wife for the rest of his life.
Así es de que literalmente ese es el trabajo de la persona, cargar a su esposa.
For the rest of his life.
Por el resto de su vida.
He says, in relation to the people in your household, it's not enough to just not be angry.
En relación con la gente de casa, no es suficiente nomás no estar enojado.
Also, not to make demands on them.
Y tampoco no hacer demandas o exigencias sobre ellos.
Okay, because Rav Wolbe has a different section of this in these exercises about what's called demands. That's a section in itself.
Porque Rav Wolbe tiene una sección aparte. Es una sección distinta sobre estas exigencias.
It's called demands.
Se llama demandas.
That means the demands that a person puts onto other person. I want this like that, I want this like that, I want that like this and this like that. That's the demand.
Las demandas que una persona dice, yo quiero esto así y quiero lo otro asá. Esas demandas.
That a person puts demands onto others, onto the people around them.
Las personas ponen demandas sobre las personas que están junto a ellos.
Okay, so this is another thing you're not allowed to do, is put demands onto other people.
Y eso es otra cosa que no se nos permite hacer, poner demandas sobre otros.
Okay, don't have patience, don't be upset at somebody else that we have.
Tenemos, no seas impaciente, no pongas demandas sobre otros.
Have patience, don't get upset at other people. That's one thing we have.
Ten paciencia y no te molestes con los otros.
And plus, don't make demands on others. That's another thing.
Y además, no hagas estas demandas a otros.
And sometimes we see our partner does something that that bothers us.
A veces vemos cosas que nuestros compañeros hacen y a nosotros nos molestan.
And we want them to stop this thing, whatever it is.
Nosotros deseamos que ellos dejen de hacerlo.
Or more so,
O más aún,
even a bad characteristic that a person has.
Una mala característica que una persona pueda tener.
She's always late.
Siempre está llegando tarde.
Lazy.
Se afloja.
Talks too much.
Habla demasiado.
We try to get her to stop. Stop.
Queremos lograr que pare.
But it doesn't work.
Pero no funciona.
So you should know that this is her nature.
Debes de saber que así es su naturaleza.
And you have to somehow make peace with this.
Y de alguna forma aceptarlo con paz.
But not just externally, just to externally.
No solo externamente.
Like I think kind of like this certain kind of Chinese philosophy, just whatever it is, just don't react to it, and that's it.
Así como esta filosofía china donde dice, no importa lo que pase, nomás no reacciones.
So not just externally make peace with it.
Entonces, no hacer paz de una manera solamente externa.
But you have to accept it in your heart.
Se tiene que
Accept
aceptar
her
en el
in your heart
corazón.
as she is. Accept her in your heart as she is.
Acéptala en tu corazón tal como es.
And you should realize that you're also not perfect.
Y de esa manera darse cuenta que uno tampoco es perfecto.
And she probably has to do the same thing you're doing.
Y ella probablemente también tiene que hacer lo que tú estás haciendo.
Okay, because not everybody, very few succeed in taking the bad part of themselves and turning into good.
Muy pocos logran tener éxito en tomar la parte mala. To take the bad part and
Take the
good.
bad part of themselves and turn it into good.
Tomar la parte mala que tenemos nosotros mismos y transformarla en algo bueno.
All right. Here he brings down from a commentary from a few hundred years ago, and
Y saca aquí un comentario de hace algunos cientos de años.
all right. And so part of a person's behavior. This is a quote. I'm trying to translate whatever he says. I'm quoting.
Bueno, estoy citando y traduciendo lo que él dijo.
So the nature of a person
La naturaleza de la persona
and the time he was born, and
el tiempo en el que nació,
right, is a significant foreshadow of his behavior in the future.
es significativo como indicativo de quién será en el futuro,
In his behavior in the future.
de su conducta en el futuro.
Okay, and you see in the Talmud you have this idea. He says.
En el Talmud tenemos esta idea.
So it says if you're born under like a certain star, so then you should become you should become circumcised or whatever.
Que si nació en cierta forma tiene que ser circuncidado.
No, if you were born, no. If
A
you
ver.
were if you were born under a certain like a bloody star or something.
Ah, si nace uno cuando en el cielo, por ejemplo, habría una estrella roja o sangrienta.
So then you're gonna whatever it is. I think Madam is Mars, so it's referring to the planet Mars, really.
Y casi creo que se refiere literalmente al planeta Marte.
It seems to be that it influences a person to have like a more bloody nature.
Que eso lo influencia a uno para tener una naturaleza más sangrienta.
So what do you do with this bloody nature?
Entonces, ¿qué hemos de hacer con esta naturaleza sangrienta?
Doesn't demand that you from then on, so you should demand of yourself that you be a pussycat, and that's it.
No demanda que seamos un lindo menino, un gatito mansito.
But it says you should become something like a slaughter of animals or a circumcised animal. So you get the blood, you get it out of your system somehow that way.
Pero sugiere que uno tenga un oficio como de carnicero para sacar esa tendencia a la sangre de uno mismo.
Right. And this is in the Talmud itself. It says this.
Así lo dice en el Talmud mismo.
So he's saying that it doesn't mean, it says that really sure, if a person is a great righteous person, he can overcome even the bad part of his nature. Sure.
Dice que si una persona es realmente malo, puede
No,
sobreponerse,
if a
puede
person is
arreglar.
a really great righteous person,
Perdón. Si la persona es un gran justo,
then
puede
he can overcome even the
sobreponerse,
negative part of his nature.
puede vencer esta parte de su naturaleza.
But most people are not able to.
Pero la mayor parte de las personas no lo pueden hacer.
And they're left with just the nature, to live according to the nature.
Y a ellos les resta solo vivir de acuerdo a su naturaleza.
So what do you have to do with yourself? You have to make the best of yourself with your nature.
Entonces, ¿qué hemos de hacer? Pues hacer lo mejor que podamos con la naturaleza que tenemos.
All right, and about this, King Solomon says only 1 out of 1,000 that he saw that could change their nature.
Y de esto, el rey Salomón dijo que solo 1 en 1000 podían cambiar su naturaleza.
But a woman, he never saw any woman that changes her nature.
Que él no llegó a ver una sola mujer que cambiara su naturaleza.
What that means is it's even rarer for a woman to be able to do such to succeed.
O sea que lo que quiere decir es que es mucho más difícil para una mujer lograr ese cambio.
Okay, because you have there's a lot of men. There's still some women who are considered prophetesses, so you assume that they changed their nature.
Hay algunas mujeres que son consideradas profetizas y asumimos que ellas pudieron cambiar su naturaleza.
All right. Anyhow, so what Rav Wolbe learns from this?
Bueno, lo que Rav Wolbe aprende de aquí.
We should never anticipate that your wife is going to change her nature.
Nunca debieras anticipar que tu esposa va a cambiar su naturaleza.
Okay, don't ever marry anybody and thinking that you're going to change them.
Nunca te cases con alguien pensando en que lo vas a cambiar.
All right, because you can look yourself in the mirror and say, what have you actually ever been able to change?
Porque nosotros mismos nos podemos voltear a ver al espejo y decir, ¿y nosotros qué hemos cambiado?
Therefore, the couple they have to bear each other.
Así es que la pareja tiene que soportarse.
With patience.
Con paciencia.
And to bear one another with all the negative aspects of each other.
Y soportarse el uno al otro con todos esos aspectos negativos.
And without abandoning the other person, throwing off the yoke of the burden of the other person.
Sin abandonar, sin echar de borda el yugo de la otra persona.
Okay, and and don't think that if you would marry somebody else, it would have been better.
Y no pienses que si te hubieses casado con alguien más hubiera sido mejor.
He says every couple has to have patience. He says
Dice que cada pareja debe de tener paciencia.
there will always be extreme opposites that will opposite points that come out.
Siempre va a haber puntos opuestos que surjan.
Okay, you can marry, you can look for somebody who, you know, you have things in common, this, that, the other thing, whatever it is.
Nos podremos casar con personas con quienes tenemos cosas en común.
But when you actually get married, then you'll find out there's certain things that you don't have in common.
Pero una vez que te casas, descubres que hay cosas que no eran en común entre ambas personas.
Peace in the household is based only on patience. That's what Rav Wolbe says.
La paz en el hogar depende solo de la paciencia.
Okay, and so that this is about the wife, and now he's going to go on to the children.
Bueno, eso es con respecto a la esposa. Ahora se dirigirá en cuanto a los niños.
And to raise up children, how much patience do we need?
Al criar hijos, ¿cuánta paciencia se necesita?
And we can't begin to even describe how much patience you have to have with them.
No podemos empezar a describir cuánta paciencia se requiere.
Okay? Only, yelling at children and hitting and yelling at children, that's not educating them at all.
Gritarles a los niños o golpearlos no es educarlos en lo absoluto.
Right. Some the parents that come, they said all they want to know is when can I hit my child?
Hay unos padres que lo único que quieren saber, bueno, ¿y cuándo sí puedo pegarle a mis hijos?
This is not those people.
Esas gentes,
woe to us all for such education, such pedagogy.
hay de
Such raising
nosotros,
children.
de esa manera de criar niños.
Only with unlimited patience we can have the correct reaction to it.
Solamente con paciencia ilimitada podemos educarlos correctamente.
We can react correctly to our children.
Podríamos reaccionar de manera correcta para con nuestros niños.
Okay, through understanding the child,
Entendiendo al niño
and to educate them according to their nature, according to what they are.
y educarlos de acuerdo a lo que son.
All right, so now we get to the exercise part here.
Ahora llega aquí al punto del ejercicio.
All right, so again, we should pick a time in the household where things get a little hectic.
Bueno, entonces también debemos encontrar un momento en el hogar cuando las cosas están medio color de hormiga, que están
And
complicadas.
specifically in that time, specifically in that time, we try to have patience.
Y específicamente en ese momento nos esforzaremos por tener paciencia.
All right, we should train in this until it's in our hearts we get a clear picture of this thing.
Nos entrenaremos hasta tener una imagen más clara de lo que es la paciencia.
Okay. And we should do, and then we should switch the time to a different time. Keep on switching the times until we handle all the problem areas.
Y vamos a estar cambiando la hora en que trabajemos esto, de tal forma que lleguemos a superar o a trabajar en todos esos momentos problemáticos que surgen en el hogar.
Okay. We train in these things.
What else did you say before?
For an extended period until we're sufficiently trained in this.
Y esto lo haremos por un tiempo prolongado, hasta que logremos entrenarnos a nosotros mismos en ello.
Okay.
Eso es lo que tiene Rav Wolbe sobre paciencia. Los ejercicios de Rav Wolbe.
And
y para nosotros yo sugiero que lo hagamos, que escojamos un momento.
One time this thing, which is take a difficult time and try to be more patient at that time. One time.
Que escojamos un momento de estos difíciles y que lo hagamos una vez.
Okay, because we're only beginning to educate ourselves about these things.
Porque apenas estamos empezando a educarnos en esto.
And the thing is that a person personally each individual in their own work can do whatever they want. I'm just saying, as a whole, we don't. We only say we only begin with a very small thing.
Bueno, en manera general así lo expongo, pero cada quien puede trabajarlo conforme lo desee.
Okay, I hope that's clear. And from now we'll pause a little bit, see if there's questions.
Bueno, vamos a hacer una pausa a ver si hay preguntas. Okay. Bueno, Gerson pregunta, Rav, ¿no debemos hacer exigencias a nuestros hijos? Como que recojan sus juguetes o que hagan su tarea en la escuela, Are we not supposed to make some demands on our children, like to pick up their toys and to do their school homework?
He didn't say no demands. He said that you don't make demands on a child. You educate the child.
Bueno, pues como se dijo es que no hacemos demandas en los niños, en los hijos, pero los educamos.
So education is when in the right way, when they're ready for it, step by step.
Con los hijos es paso a paso.
In the right place, in the right time, when they're ready for it.
En el lugar adecuado, en el momento adecuado.
And each child is also different.
Y también recordar que cada niño es diferente.
A demand means something that you need, like it's something that serves you.
Entendamos por demanda una exigencia sobre otra persona que satisface algo que yo necesito.
Right. So a lot of times the parents do this to the children. I mean,
Hay muchas ocasiones en las que los padres hacen esto con los hijos.
So they're not involved in educating the child. Let's say the parent wants to sleep. They're saying, shut up and keep yourself down, quiet, and whatever.
Hay veces que ellos quieren tomar una siesta y dicen, cállate, estate callado allí.
That's not education.
Eso no es educación.
But we're not going to say that you don't have a right for quiet. We're not going to say that.
No vamos a decir que no tenemos el derecho a estar en un lugar con silencio.
So, but so then the question is, how you react to the child? Do you think you have a right to demand of your child, or you say, please, daddy wants to sleep, please, can you keep it down? It's a matter of how you express it.
Pero aún así pudiéramos pedir la cooperación para el silencio. Todo tiene que ver en la manera en que se solicita o se expresa la petición.
So you say, please, I want to rest now, please, whatever.
Podemos decir, por favor, yo quiero descansar, necesito descansar.
Okay, but you have to measure everything. I'm saying if it's the middle of the night, it's different because then you, whatever, it could be a stronger day, whatever. I don't know. You have to measure each situation.
Y tendríamos que considerar cada situación, porque si esto se suscita a medianoche, es diferente que a mediodía.
Right, and really deep down, I don't really have practical knowledge of these things, really, the truth is.
Y la verdad de las cosas es que yo no tengo un conocimiento práctico sobre estas cosas.
Right, and there are people who were parents of children for years and years. Some people have 10 children, and some parents are very good parents.
Hay gente que tiene hasta 10 hijos y son unos padres muy buenos.
So I'm only talking, I can only talk from imagination. I could read from the Rav Wolbe's book and talk about imagination because I never had such a thing, to raise a child.
Yo, leyendo a Rav Wolbe, puedo hablar solo de mi imaginación porque no he tenido la oportunidad de criar niños.
The only thing I did have, I grew up myself. I was a child once, and I grew up.
La única experiencia que sí tengo es que yo mismo crecí empezando como un niño.
So I know a little bit about it. That's all.
Así es de que conozco algo de ello.
All right.
Okay.
But does anybody have you have more reactions there? Questions, reactions?
Algo más. Luis Enrique.
Oh, yeah. Enrique.
Para los hijos se necesita muchísimo. Yeah, we'll need a lot of patience.
Right,
Yo debo ser sincero porque no me gusta mentir. Hay ocasiones que ya no puedo más. Yo me considero tener mucha paciencia, pero en ocasiones deseo estrangular a mi amada hija. Así que mejor me voy. I have to be honest because I don't like to lie. Although I consider myself to be very patient, there are times when I feel the urge to strangle my own daughter, so I leave. I go away. Allí en ese momento, ¿qué?
Allí Hope you can improve in this. I mean,
Dice que espero que puedas mejorar en esto. Sigo leyendo. Allí en ese momento en que estoy saturado, ¿cómo hago para aguantar más? Hablar con amor y no solo que mis palabras sean de tranquilidad, sino también mi rostro. In those moments when I'm fed up, I'm full, what do I do to hold a little bit more? I speak with love and no solo, but not only my words should be tranquil. My face should also reflect that.
yeah, you're doing very good, Mr. and Senor
Luis
Enrique.
Enrique,
You're doing very good.
lo estás haciendo muy bien, Enrique. Luis
Because
Enrique.
Rav Wolbe has a different share, and the next share that maybe we want to give, and Rav Wolbe says kind of exactly that. But we'll have to get to it. We'll see. We'll have to read it.
Mañana o más adelante veremos otro shur de Rav Wolbe en donde él dice algo así como lo que tú expresas aquí. Sigo leyendo. Sé que soy su centro de seguridad. Quiero entenderlas. En ocasiones me hablan al mismo tiempo. La bebé llora y mi esposa está afuera. En ocasiones hasta llorar me dan ganas. Okay, so I know that I am their core of their security. So I want to understand them. But sometimes they speak at the same time. And sometimes the baby cries and my wife is somewhere outside. And sometimes I myself want to cry also.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Nini Joana. Shalom Rav. No sé,
Nini
pero
is
esta
the
clase.
wife of Nini is the wife of Johnny.
Nini es la esposa de Johnny. Shalom Rav.
Right, and greetings. You know, I stayed in her home and whatever, so greetings to her.
El Rav te saluda. Nini recuerda que se hospedó en tu casa.
Okay, go on.
Ok. Shalom Rav. No sé, pero esta clase hoy es justo lo que necesitaba. Estaba por escribirle al Rav para poder tener una orientación. Y bueno, la verdad es que estoy viviendo una situación con Ayani. La señora lo remitió al psicólogo porque lleva tiempo comiéndose las uñas a tal punto que ya se está comiendo los cueritos y se lastima, obviamente. Y bueno, no sé si tal vez yo le estoy exigiendo demasiado, si yo tal vez soy la responsable de esa actitud en él. Y el tema de la paciencia ha sido muy difícil para mí y me siento mal porque también intento cada vez corregir esas actitudes en mí. Pero sí reconozco que no es fácil y pues también sé que con mis reacciones le estoy dando ese ejemplo a él de actuar así. Me siento identificada con el señor Luis Enrique. Shalom, Rav, mil gracias. Okay, he's biting his nails.
Interesting. It sounds almost like she intended it almost. I don't know if she intended that it should be for the public. I really don't know for sure. And
well, she wrote it
the
here.
Boy, right? But all right. But the boy is biting his nails. That's what he's doing.
Yes, and the teacher referred her to a psychologist.
The psychologist, and the psychologist put her on the pills and whatever. And now the
Well,
boy
not
is
yet.
not yet, but
Soon
he'll say she has ADD, and that's the end of it.
Yes,
or whatever.
I know.
I don't know. Just whatever you be very, very wary of these people. That's the first thing.
Bueno, el primer consejo del Rav es que se tenga mucho cuidado con el consejo que vaya a dar el psicólogo.
Right. First of all, it could be it's not significant because I also, as a child, perhaps I bit my nails, but nothing happened. Nothing happened. At some point, you stopped, and that's nothing. Nothing happened. Everything was fine. The world kept on spinning, and nothing happened.
Dice el Rav que él mismo en algún tiempo de su infancia también se mordía sus uñas y el mundo siguió dando vueltas sobre su eje, nada pasó y él dejó de hacerlo.
Right. I mean, one thing is that if the child doesn't have nails, you can't bite them. So if you cut the nails, how is he going to bite them?
But he's even hurting in the fingers because he has bitten them so small.
Yeah, no. That's a sign. That's a sign. If he's hurting himself literally.
Sí, bueno, el Rav quiere saber si ya se está causando daño, si se está lastimando, si se produce dolor en sus deditos.
If he's hurting himself, that's a sign of like some hidden pain, hidden cry that he's forced to keep inside.
Si él está produciéndose dolor en sus deditos, es una señal, es un síntoma de un grito silencioso, de un dolor
That he has to keep inside. So yeah, then you have to figure out why is something that he has to hold inside. Then you have to figure it out if that's the case.
Si fuera ese el caso, tendrían que abocarse a descubrir cuál es ese dolor.
But I know the boy. He's pretty, from when I was around him, he's pretty, very, very, very happy boy. So it doesn't seem to be he's holding things inside. That's from a number of years ago when I was around.
Yo conocí al niño hace unos años y lo recuerdo que era un niño muy feliz de entonces. No me parece que sea.
It doesn't seem to be, but I don't know.
Bueno, ella dice, yo no lo llevé al psicólogo porque
it could be, it could be. I'm sorry. Go ahead, please read it. I'm sorry for interrupting. Go ahead.
Okay. I didn't take him to the psychologist porque la vez que lo llevé me dijeron que tenía que meterlo a la escuela y esas cosas. I didn't take him to the psychologist because, so it was a woman, but it wasn't the teacher because he's not attending school. And the psychologist said that he had to be in school. Yo le he enseñado sus clases aquí en casa y en una escuela virtual. Y él es muy consciente y pide no estar en un colegio de niños. Pide no estar en un colegio de niños de Torah. Así que bueno, yo sé.
Right. Okay. Another thing maybe I suspect over here is that it's because his father had to go away now. Maybe there's a connection between this and that.
A lo mejor hay una conexión con el hecho de que su papá tuvo que viajar o retirarse.
Because it says in the Talmud, it says that the child has very strong longing for his father. Specifically, a boy child has strong longing for his father.
En el Talmud está escrito que un niño pequeño tiene unos grandes lazos con su padre.
Okay. Other than that, I don't know. Maybe other people here, we have a whole panel of experts, and maybe other people have advice.
Bueno, aparte de eso, no sabría yo qué decir, pero aquí hay un gran panel de expertos. A ver. Bueno, could I read José Alcocer?
Sure.
Precisamente yo estoy pasando una situación parecida con mi esposa. Ella siempre me pide extra y luego me dice que me dijo algunas cosas y no las dice, nomás las piensa. Y eso me hace no tener paciencia y enojarme mucho. Y lo que hago es no hablar para no decir cosas que después me pueda arrepentir. Y por eso no le hablo por un tiempo y me vienen muchas cosas a mi cabeza. ¿Cómo puedo trabajar en eso?
Yeah.
Well, precisely I'm going through such a dilemma with my wife because
Right.
she demands extra things. She sometimes says that she said or asked for something, but she never did. She just thought about them. And that kind of uh, takes me,
I don't understand what you just said. You understand what you just said? I'm not able to understand what you just said.
well, sometimes
She never did. She just thought about them. I really can't follow what you're saying.
yeah,
What this means? You
the
don't understand what it
demands,
means?
the things that she wants him to do, she never said them. She just
She never
thought
said the
about them.
demands. Oh, she just
Yeah,
thought the demands, and she already expects him to be able to do these things.
yes. And that makes him
Right, right,
real mad. So he goes and give her the
right.
silent treatment for a while.
I understand. I understand it. This is what happens when somebody does this demands onto others. This demand department, and that the other person thinks they have a right to demand things from you.
Eso es lo que sucede en el departamento de las exigencias o demandas. Cuando una de las personas cree que tiene el derecho a demandar.
Right, but I think in this situation, so he already approached her and he said, he already approached her nicely and he said, please, why are you demanding things of you? I can't. How can I meet your demands? I think that already happened.
Por lo que escribe a José Alcocer, parece ser que ya habló con su esposa de manera suave y tranquila, explicándole por qué exiges esto.
But what's her reaction? Everybody knows. All the married people here know what the reaction is.
Y todas las personas que están en este shur y están casadas saben cuál fue la reacción.
She gets angry. Says, she doesn't let go of her demands.
Ella va a responder, bueno, ¿y qué? ¿No se supone que tú tienes que adivinar o saber qué se necesita? Ella se va a enojar.
I don't know. I don't know what to do in these things. With these things, I hope Musar could be a cure for these diseases. But if you don't have Musar, I don't know how to cure it.
El musar puede curar estas enfermedades. Sin musar, no sé cómo se podrían arreglar.
So what are you supposed to do? The only thing you could possibly do now is try to have patience and try to more or less react the way you're doing. But it's very hard to. If you're inside, you have to hold. You're holding into. It's very, very hard for the relationship.
Eso es muy difícil para la relación, pero
What,
tienes que persistir.
I don't know what you can do. Tell her to listen. Yes, tell her to listen to the Musar.
Invítala a que escuche musar.
Ask her if she wants to really have a good relationship with you.
Pregúntale si de veras quiere tener una buena relación contigo.
If she does, then tell her that maybe she has to study Musar, or if it's not Musar, so then read other books, anything, whatever. Somebody has to help. She has to have counseling. Somebody has to help you.
Y si no quiere musar, pues habrá libros que ella pueda leer. Alguien tendrá que aconsejar.
Because other than that, I don't know. Unless the person decides that they really deep down, unless both parties in the marriage are trying to work on the marriage and trying as best as they can, you're not going to be able to have a good relationship with somebody. That's how.
a menos de que sean ambas partes las que quieran trabajar en el matrimonio, no va a resolverse, no va a poderse arreglar.
So the other person says, no, I don't. I just demand these things. I don't want to let go, and I don't want to do anything, and that's it.
Si ella dijese, no, no quiero nada, pero solo quiero que me cumplas mis exigencias.
So what can I say? That's almost like a person that's not. I don't know. I don't know what to do, but everybody knows that there's a lot of that in the world that we live in. That we know. That we all know.
No sé qué hacer. Todos sabemos que de esto abunda en el mundo.
I don't know what to do, and that's why you have a lot of divorce in the world. That's why.
Y por eso tenemos muchos divorcios en el mundo. Rav, could I suggest something?
Yes, you can suggest, sure, please.
Bueno, vamos para 32 años de casados, mi esposo y yo, y a nosotros nos funciona mucho un pizarrón que puse en el refrigerador, de esos pizarrones con marcadores. Y todos en la familia escribimos lo que nos hace falta o la ayuda que necesitamos o donde pedimos que no toquen algo, que no usen algo o que los que queremos a la familia para una fecha y una hora, todo se escribe en ese pizarrón. Y como todos abrimos el refrigerador varias veces al día, todos nos enteramos de las necesidades o de las peticiones de todos los miembros de la familia. Y de esa manera se evita eso que pasa muy seguido, que uno piensa que les dijo y no les dijo, o les dijo cuando no estaban poniendo atención. Entonces, ese pizarrón en la puerta del refrigerador es una manera cordial de enterar a todos de nuestros deseos.
All right, sounds good to me. Just that some people are going to need a big refrigerator. That's what.
Dice el Rav, eso me suena bien, pero habrá gente que necesitará un refrigerador muy grande para que le quepa un pizarrón muy grande.
All right.
Bueno, Nini dice, pues al comerse el cuerito, sí se saca hasta sangre y llora. Después arrepentido dice, ay Hashem, perdóname. Sí, claro, él es feliz, aún juega, ríe, todo normal. Solo que bueno, hasta mi suegra dice que él necesita socializar con otros niños. Sí, cuando él viaja se pone muy mal. So
when he travels,
yeah, the mother-in-law is the one that says that.
Okay. I know about that. I understood that. When he travels, it's bad. That's what she says.
Yes, and he does pulls blood out of the fingers when he bites, and
he did it one time. She said he did it one time, and then he said, "Hashem, pardon me."
Well, not one time.
It says more than one time.
It's like a habit.
That's what she says here?
Yeah, because it doesn't say one time. No dice aquí que una sola vez lo hizo con su dedito, ¿verdad? Que es algo que sucede eventual o seguido.
I don't know. It's not clear to me if it happens more than one time. Not clear to me.
Bueno, el Rav quiere pensar que es una sola vez que sucedió, pero yo aquí entiendo que es como un mal hábito que se está haciendo, que se lastima.
When he travels, it's bad. Is he traveling without his father or with his father?
¿Está viajando con su papá o sin su papá?
If it's without his father, that explains why it's a little stress. It was more stressful for him.
Si es sin papá, que no vaya papá, eso explica por qué es más estresante para él. It's already 8 minutes past the hour, and Luis Enrique wrote a very large comment. Should I read it?
Okay, quickly read it. Quickly.
Ok, leo lo que nos comparte Luis Enrique. Voy a contarles abiertamente mi niñez. Yo siempre he sido un bicho raro. Yo de niño sufría por ansiedad. Me
No,
comía
it's too
la
long. It's too long.
uña
I'm gonna have
y
to.
los
I'll make my.
cueritos.
We'll read it
Bueno,
tomorrow.
dice el Rap
We'll
que
read it
lo
tomorrow.
leeremos mañana porque ya es tarde. Ya nos pasamos. Debemos de dejar de escribir unos minutos antes.
Tomorrow. Okay, good. We'll have to do it tomorrow. Be well, everybody. Everything good for everybody. Tomorrow.
Ok. Que todos estén bien. Shalom. Gracias, Rap, por enseñarnos.
Okay, and be well. Okay, and shalom. Thank you for translation. Shalom a todos. Gracias por traducir.
Shalom a todos. Gracias, Rap.
Okay.